Hello and hi to everyone who are watching me right now. Welcome back to my channel and myself, Miss Nidhi Burana. Today we are going to study standard ninth poem that is Somebody's Mother, written by a very great, beautiful poetess, Mary Don Brine. Okay, sorry for my cracky voice. My throat is not, uh, you know, it's not doing good since past some days, so I was unable to make some videos also. But I have decided कि ठीक है हम मैनेज कर लेंगे इसी आवाज़ से सो हियर आई एम रिकॉर्डिंग द वीडियो फॉर योर if you have not subscribed to my channel, do subscribe it. And if you have any of the doubts in this poem after listening to this, you can surely comment it in the comment box below. I'll be really very happy to answer all of you all. So, without wasting any further time, let's understand the poem well. But poem को analyze करने से पहले, as I always say, that you should recite the poem well, so that जब भी poem में से question पूछा जाए, आप easily उसे answer कर सकते हो. So, poem पढ़ने से पहले always remember students that you recite it well. Also, I just forgot to give you all a very big info that a big thank you to all of you who have successfully made the channel reach beyond 1000. So yeah, we are a big family of 1000 subscribers, or 1000 plus subscribers, I must say. So thank you once again. So shall we start with the poem now? Yeah, let's begin. About the poem and the poet first. This poem is obviously written by Mary Don Brine, as I told you. She's a poet, she's an author, the lyricist, and the poet was reciting at New York. She had written many poems and many children books have also been published by Mary Don Brine, and she's best known for her poem Somebody's Mother, which we are doing today. बहुत beautiful poem है students. I must say that poem is so touchy, so sentimental that when I read this poem first, actually I read it one of the poems book itself many years ago. So I really found this poem very beautiful. The way the poet has showcased the love of the mother, the love of a child towards the mother is very touchy. So I hope you also find this poem really very good. And not only this, in the late century, Mary Jo Brine had written beautiful lyrics of Hearts and Flowers also. And she is very famous among children. Many novels have been written by her, many short story books have been written by her for the children. Out of that, one of my favorite book is written by Mary Jo Brine, The Stories by Grandma, yeah, grandmother, something like that. And that book was really very good. Okay, now let's talk about the poem. The poem Somebody's Mother, which was written by Mary Do Brine. You must be thinking, ma'am, bar same cheese क्यों बता रहे हैं? The reason is that students, as I always say, that in the beginning only you have to remember two things of the poem. One is the name of the poet, and the other thing is the title of the poem. Yeah, ताकि आप जब appreciation लिखो तो it becomes easier for you to write it down. Yeah. Okay, so talking about the poem, this poem is basically set in the European country, or you can say at a region where there is a snowfall, and the poem is looking into a winter evening. And there is one old woman who is waiting to cross the busy road nearby a school, and there are students who are passing by. The climate is very cold over there. There is snow all around, and the street is busy of jostling and hustling of the humans and the vehicles. And in that, this old lady is waiting to cross the road. So, what are the problems that the lady is facing? And how does she manage to cross the road, and who helps her to cross the road? Everything you will be studying in this particular poem. So stay tuned with me up till the end of the poem. Let's move ahead. The woman was old and ragged and grey, and bent with the chill of the winter's day. The street was wet with the recent snow, and the women's feet were aged and slow. Now, over here, the woman was old and ragged and grey. Now, what does ragged mean, students? Ragged means the torn, the ripped, the worn out clothes. Now, as you can see, I have tried to depict the same kind of women over here. The one which was very old, the one which was wearing the ragged clothes, the torn clothes, and gray means she have become aged now, right? उनकी एज काफी हो चुकी है. She's an old woman and bent with the chill of the winter's day. Bent with the chill of the winter's day, students, it means the winter cold was so extreme to bear that the women was bent down. Okay, इतनी ठंडी थी वहां पर. The winter cold was so chilled that the women has simply bent down. The streets were white with recent snow, and the women's feet with age were slow. The street were white with the recent snow. Yeah, recently snowfall hua hai. Or street, the roads are completely white. That means it is filled with snow all around. And here is this woman with her feet has become slow with age. That means she is walking quite slow because of her age. Obviously, you might have noticed the old people walking slow because of their age. Yeah. So here is this woman, the old woman who is very old, who has wore the ragged clothes and has become gray. She is bent with the chill of the winter's day. The streets around has completely covered with the snow, and this woman is walking very slow. So that is what the first stanza of the poem is all about. So if you get the question that how do you describe the old women, तो यहाँ पे ही आपको answer मिल जाएगा that her clothes were in very bad condition. She was a very old and the poor woman. She had gone grey with age. Her steps had become slow, and she was walking very slow and unsteady due to the aging. Okay, so this way you can form up the answer from this particular stanza. Moving ahead to the second stanza. Now, the second stanza says, at the crowded crossing, she waited long, jostled aside by a careless throng of human beings who passed her by, unheeding the glance of her anxious eye. Oh my god. So over here, the woman was crossing the street. Okay, crossing means a traffic crossing, right? So it was a very crowded crossing. The streets were very busy, as I told you. A lot of people were moving here and there. So this old lady was waiting long. Waiting long means since a long time she was waiting, jostled aside by the careless throng. Jostled aside means she was thrown aside, she was uncared for, or a careless throng means a crowd. Throng means the crowd. So there was one crowd of people who was just moving here and there and there. They were passing by from the street, and the slow lady, the old lady who was walking very slow, she was just jostled aside, she was just thrown aside by the careless crowd of human beings who passed her by, unheeding the glance of her anxious eye. Okay, so there were human beings who were passing by. Unheeding means unnoticed. Okay, of her glance. Glance means caring look, where her eyes were clearly showing that she was very anxious. She was very worried. She wanted to cross the road, but looking at so many human beings and so many vehicles passing by so fast, she was unable to do so. And so her eyes were quite anxious, quite worried, but no one paid heed to that. No one noticed those anxious eyes. Okay, so the question can come in the exam that why did the old women wait long, or how does the poet satirize the human beings in this stanza? So you can write it over here that the poet had told that human beings are so cold heart, or you can say the hard heartedness people, that it is shame for humanity that everyone was so busy that they could not even look that the old women wanted help from them. So insensitive people, right? So that is what the second stanza told us. Moving ahead with the third stanza now. The third stanza says that down the street with laughter and shout, glad in the freedom of school let out, came happy boys like flock of sheep, hailing the snow piled white and deep. Okay, so what does the poet says over here? That down the street with laughter and shout. Now here there was some humans who were laughing, who were shouting, glad in the freedom of school let out. So who were those who were laughing and shouting? They were the school children, school going children, right? So school ke students, they students, and they just let out from the school. Let out means abhi abhi school se chhut kar wo aaye the. Came happy boys like a flock of sheep. Happy boys from a flock of sheep. Flock of sheep means students like a ship flowing in the herder. Similarly, the children came out in a line from the school. They all were laughing, they were shouting. Similarly, when you come back from the school, I'm sure you guys must be so happy कि आप लोग भी इतना चिल्लाते हुए happily you must be coming out from the school, thinking about the freedom that you have got. Similarly, on the street, there were some students who just left from the school and they were very happy. Came happy boys like a flock of sheep. They were in herds, they were in group. Flock of sheep is a collective noun, जैसे कि हम बोलते हैं ना, a bunch of grapes, a bouquet of flowers, right? Similarly, when a group of students over here is described by the collective noun flock of sheep. Hailing the snow piled white and deep. Okay, now hailing the snow means shouting merrily at the snow, which is piled. Piled means which is heaped up, जमा हो गया है. Complete white and deep snow वहाँ पे piled up हुआ है, जमा हो गया है. Pass the women so old and grey, hasten the children on their way. Now these children were passing by this old and aged lady. Yeah, past means to going ahead. Hasten means they hurried on their way. वो fast fast चल रहे थे because everybody wanted to go to their home. Somebody wanted to reach at their workplace. सब इतने busy थे that they did not look at the anxious, worried eyes of the old lady. Okay, so many questions can be asked from this stanza also, like why couldn't the old lady cross the road? How did the boys come out of the school? Why were the boys so glad? So you need to mention that after the end of a long and a cold school day, they felt free after the school and they were happy, they were glad for the freedom that they got. Okay, so came the boys like a flock of sheep. Which figures of speech this is? So over here, the figures of speech is simile. Okay, boys over here are compared to the flock of sheep. Right, so many questions can be there in the exam from this particular stanza. Now moving ahead to the fourth stanza. None offered a helping hand to her, so weak and timid, afraid to stir. So nobody who was walking over there, nobody offered a helping hand to her. किसी ने मदद नहीं की उस old lady की, who was so weak, so timid. Timid means who was so shy and scared at the same time. Afraid to stir. Afraid to stir means she was so afraid, so fear that she could not even move from her place. Okay, looking at so much of crowd, she was not moving from her place lest the carriage wheels or the horse's feet. As you can see on the screen, students, the carriage wheels, right? Lest means she was not moving from her place, so that, lest means so that not the carriage wheels or the horse feet trample her down in the slippery street. So she is trying to say that the carriage wheels or the horse's feet do not run over her. That's the reason she was not moving from her place. She was afraid that what if the carriage wheels passes by her. So you can see a horse and the carriage wheels in the picture which is on the screen right now. Okay, so she was very trampled. She was afraid that ये carriage wheels जो है या horse का feet वो उसके पैरों से ना चले जाए. So she was very anxious. Look at her beautiful eyes who were filled with fear, who was filled with afraidness and all the worries that how she is going to cross the street and reach her home. So moving ahead with this. At last came out of the merry troop the gayest boy of all the group. Now, over here, the poet says that here comes a merry troop. Merry troop means a happy group of children. The gayest boy of all the group. The gayest means the happiest boy in that group just paused beside that old lady and whispered low. Whispered low means धीरे से उसने उस old lady को पूछा. He asked slowly to that old lady, I'll help you across if you wish to go. If you wish to cross this particular street, I can help you out. That old lady was so happy that somebody is there who is helping her to cross the road. She was so happy at that time. So the question can be asked from this particular stanza that what did the boy whisper to the old women, or who paused and offered the help to the old women, or else what does Mary Troop means? So I have clearly mentioned to you all about the questions so that you all can easily answer in the exam. Now going to the next particular stanza, students, that is the sixth stanza. Her aged hands on his strong young arm she placed and so without hurt or harm. He guided the trembling feet along. Now, trembling means shivering. So, when the little boy asked the old lady that, can I help you out across the street? Her aged hands on his young, strong arm. Okay, that lady holded the arm of that young boy. She placed her arm on the young boy, and that young boy, without causing any hurt or harm, he helped that trembling feet, that shivering feet, to cross the street. Proud that his own were firm and strong, the young boy was feeling so proud of oneself that he is able to help. He is able to help that old lady. Always students, आपको भी अगर कहीं पे भी कोई senior citizen दिखता है, always try to help them out, to walk the bridge, or to catch the vehicle or the auto rickshaw, or might be just hold the bags that they are holding. Okay, so this way you can help them out. Never fear to help them out. Always take a step and help them out. Okay, then back again to his friends he went. Okay, he helped the old lady to cross the road, and he went back to his friends. His young heart happy and well content. Well content means satisfied. So when he made that old lady cross the street, his heart was full of joy and content. Content means his heart was very satisfied कि उसने इस old lady की help की. The boy felt so proud that his young hands were so strong that they could help an old lady to cross the busy road while causing no harm or no hurt to her. Okay, so if the question comes, what pride did the old boy feel while helping the old woman cross the road? You know what to write in the answer, right? So moving ahead to the seventh stanza that says, she's somebody's mother, boys. Now over here, the boy, after going back to his friends, he told to his friends that she is somebody's mother, boys. वो भी किसी की mom है. She is also somebody's mother. For all she's aged, poor, and slow. Yeah, right now that lady is very aged. She is old, she is poor, she is walking slowly, and someone sometime may lend a hand to help my mother. Today I have helped a mother. Someday even my mother will be old. I might not be there beside her, and someone else will help my mother when she needs it. So if ever she's old, poor, and grey, and her old dear boy so far away, so someone else will help my mother. So the boy have explained his act of helping the old lady to cross the road by referring the similar situation in which if his own dear mother is there, and in the future if she needs some help, he said that his mother would be helped by some kind-hearted person sometime in the future when she traveled alone, when she is tired, when she is aged. तब मेरी मॉम की भी कोई हेल्प करेगा, यही सोच से हमें बाकी लोगों की भी हेल्प करनी चाहिए. That is what the poet is trying to say. Now moving to the stanza 8, that is the 8th stanza, the poet says over here, and somebody's mother bowed low her head in her home that night, and the prayer she said was, God be kind to that noble boy who is somebody's son and pride and joy. What a beautiful lines. These are my favorite lines, students. Bowed low her head, that means the mother reached home and sat to pray. And you know what did she told? The old lady prayed for that boy who helped her to cross the road. And she referred that boy as somebody's son, right? That old lady told that he is somebody's son, somebody's pride. Somebody's pride means जो उस बच्चे पे बहुत ही proud feel कर रहे होंगे, उसके parents का बच्चा है ये. So she prayed to God to be kind with that boy. Why? Because he is somebody's son, somebody's pride and joy. Got it? So that is what the old lady, who is somebody's mother, had prayed for somebody's son over here. Okay. So the boy who helped the old lady cross the road was different from the other boys. Yeah, he was one who was more cheerful. He was the one who, on top of the all other boys, helped that lady, which is the very great quality of seeing his own mother in the old lady. The quality to suffer the jeering of his friends places him to the top of all the other boys, right? So, as for the boy being so virtuous, he is having so many good qualities. The old lady thought that he would be the pride and the joy of his own parents, and so she termed that boy as somebody's son. Got it? I have answered many questions over here. So if you go through this video again and again, it will help you to answer in your particular English exam. Got it? So stay tuned. I hope you all like the video. Subscribe to it. Next is the glossary that are there. Already I've discussed those meanings in the video itself while explaining y'all up. Still, y'all can pause and take the screenshot, or y'all can save this video for the further reference. Share with your friends also. So here is some more glossaries. And lastly, subscribe, like, and share with all those who need to watch this for their exams. Thank you for watching this video and staying with me tuned. I hope you all understood this video, and do comment it in the comment box below if you have any questions. Okay, so soon I'll be back with more videos, and I'll be trying to put the videos frequently because your exams are just around the corner. So do not waste time and study. See you all soon with the other video. Till that time, bye bye.